Okay, continuing with some of the alliteration, March will be Metal Mayhem month. And this was one that I've spent about a good 2 weeks going back and forth on exactly how to line this one up. Amazo versus the Super-Adaptoid. You're probably thinking, why is this one so difficult to try to do? Okay, Super-Adaptoid is powered by a sliver of the power of a cosmic cube. It was created by AIM, and pretty much anything that he sees, he can duplicate. Powers, abilities, but he's not very creative. He's pretty much, if I see it, I can copy it. But it's not like I can see it, I can copy it, I can be innovative. Doesn't quite have that ability. Other side, I've heard is Amazo and Amazo. This, of course, is kind of the DC version. Initially, was designed to have the abilities of all 7 prime members of Justice League. So, pretty freaking tankish. You figure that it's, Aquaman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Martian Man, or Green Lantern Flash. That is a cornucopia of abilities. And his works to be a very, very intelligent, very gifted combatant. So, Amazo, Super-Adaptoid. I do a 9 criteria system: intelligence, findability, strength, speed, durability, invulnerability, energy rejection, versatility, and X factor. If it's 5 to 4, the person with 5 more than likely would win, but with this one, the ability to go, well, Super-Adaptoid could actually mimic the abilities of Amazo. Amazo could also mimic the ability of Super-Adaptoid, so there's a lot of tremendous amount of back and forth you can go with this. We're going to start off with intelligence. They both, of course, since you're robots, so tremendous amount of processing speed. However, Super-Adaptoid, lack of imagination. So Amazo definitely takes it here. Fighting ability. This one I had to sit back and go, if I were to look at just primary Avengers, it's like, okay, I got Thor and Captain America. Batman, Wonder Woman. And I was like, Like that's pretty even when it comes to fighting ability. And I was like, well, Super-Adaptoid has also watched Hawkeye, Wolverine. He's watched a lot more people who are essentially better fighters. And he's not going to try to adapt his style, and plus he's going to be copying whatever he's learned from Amazo. So give Super-Adaptoid the edge when it comes to fighting ability. Strength. This is Amazo, sorry. If I'm looking at Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Superman as base abilities when it comes to strength, that's impressive. Speed. Take those same guys, add the Flash. That is a tremendous amount of speed. Durability. How well these guys can actually recover. Well, Super-Adaptoid has actually watched Wolverine. It actually has actual regular regenerative abilities, as well as a sliver of a cosmic cube. It's a tremendous power source. Invulnerability. Both these guys don't have a tremendous amount of superhuman invulnerability per se, but Amazo appears to have taken a tremendous amount more damage and still actually keeps on moving. So, plus Amazo also has the ability of using the Green Lantern ring to make a really, really impressive force field. Now I'm at that raw energy projection. Just raw distance. And I was like, well, Superman, Green Lantern. You really can't use the abilities to read minds because it's a robot. And I was like, that's a pretty impressive when it comes to just raw output. And I was like, can perfectly mimic what Thor can do. I would probably say from pure raw damage, I would put Thor at range as being more devastating than your normal Green Lantern attack, as well as heat vision. I would definitely say Thor has the ability to produce a much larger, more destructive initial burst. Now, if we're looking at versatility, you got Amazo, who is going to use all those abilities as highly, highly creative. I mean, that alone is a fantastic sort of combination there. So Amazo essentially is going to win this fight, predominantly because of the ability to have a Green Lantern ring as well as imagination. I will give Super-Adaptoid an edge when it comes to X Factor, predominantly because Super-Adaptoid has actually seen so many other individuals and can watch tape of an individual and perfectly copy the moveset. Amazo can do some duplications, but is still predominantly tied towards, storyline-wise, the Justice League. That's why in one of the, I think it was the World War III, the non-post Infinite Crisis, they did a World War III, I think that's the name of the giant bind, and that was where, was it still Morrison or was it just different Morrison's run? They had a Justice League that had everybody, they had like new gods in it. And they're fighting Amazo, and he's taking out all these abilities. And then it's like, wait, stop. I'm disbanding the league. And then he lost all his abilities. And I was like, well, since they normally do tie Amazo to a very specific group of individuals, he does still have the ability to copy other abilities, just not to the level that you see Super-Adaptoid. But the ability to copy those abilities is kind of hampered if you lack any imagination when it comes to the utilization of those abilities. So, Amazo, Super-Adaptoid. I think Amazo bases essentially the ability to have imagination and a much stronger initial power set with a higher degree of versatility basis, of course, the imaginative processes that Amazo has. He's going to be able to defeat Super-Adaptoid.